Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video, I want to talk about the Easter Day bombing of Lahore, Pakistan. This was another event, another false flag, hoax, however you want to call it, put on by the Freemasons, the Zionists, the banker tyrants who operate by a numerological code spreading fear worldwide. If you're new to my channel, I show how in all of these terror hoaxes, from the Middle East to Europe to the United States, are put on by the same gang, the Masonic Zionists who control our media, who control our world governments, and who operate by this code of numerology and gematria. So notice, Pakistan has gematria 46. Yesterday's bombing took place on a date with 46 numerology. That stood out on the surface right away. Lahore, Pakistan also has gematria of 60, 69, and 78. By the end of the day, they said 69 people were killed. 69 is the number at the top of the Masonic arch. It also corresponds with the gematria of where the bombing took place. Lahore in simple English gematria sums to 59, which is the kill number in Jewish gematria. This number shows up often around death. The Friday, November 13th Paris attack took place on a date with 59 numerology. Should be noted that the word Jason also equals 59, associated with Friday the 13th. These Masons, these Zionists, they control our media, they control our governments, they control the things that entertain us, including movies, music, and sports. And they operate, again, by this numerological code. The coordinates of the location stand out: 31st parallel, 74th meridian east. 31 is the 11th prime number. 74 is a number very important to Christianity, as well as the Masons, as well as the Jews. Masonic and Jewish both equal 74. Because this took place on Easter, it also reminds me of this. Jesus equals 74. Cross equals 74. Messiah equals 74. Gospel equals 74. Yeshua, the Greek spelling of Jesus, equals 74. Joshua, the English translation of Jesus, also equals 74. Easter is the celebration of Jesus rising from the dead after being crucified on the cross at age 33. Here in the United States, out of the 50 states, only one has a gematria of 74, the 33rd state, Oregon. I don't think this is any coincidence. I think this is all part of the Easter tribute bombing that was blamed on Islam as an attack on Christians. CNN gave us their update at 11:44. They love their multiples of 11. 44 is the kill number. Talk about what Easter has to do with 44 in just a moment. The park the explosion took place at, interesting gematria. What stands out is the 79 and the 88. Both the words murder and massacre equal 79. Number that was just heavily coded into the Brussels, Belgium attack. One of the locations of the bombing had a gematria of 79. They said the two bombings that day were 79 minutes apart. In simple English gematria, what stands out is the word park alone, also having the gematria of 46, like Pakistan, like sacrifice, corresponding with the date numerology, fitting for a park to be bombed in Pakistan by the numbers. The source for the bombing that CNN quoted all day was Ghulam Nabi, gematria 43, like massacre the small way, similar to the name of the park. Gematria of 88, just like in the park, the words poison and program equal 88. The purpose of this propaganda is to poison the minds of people, thinking Islam is very dangerous, very violent, very hostile. The truth is, the vast majority, the 99.999999% of Muslims are good to all people, including Christians. Throughout the day, they changed the number of dead. It started with 5 dead. It jumped to 50 dead. When it jumped to 50, I said, oh, there's a number that makes sense. 50 has gematria of 66. Yesterday's date numerology also had 66 in addition to the 46. The next headline that CNN put out really caught my eye. I noticed that this picture, clearly crisis actors. I mean, come on, a wrapped up leg with a little Crayola paint on there. Like, that looks real. But what stood out about this was the Houston Rockets baseball cap. Ask yourself, what are the odds of a man in Pakistan wearing a Houston Rockets baseball cap? Houston is a city of great focus this year in the United States. Houston is hosting the College Basketball Championship, which will take place on April 4th, 4-4, just days away. Also, they're hosting the Super Bowl upcoming. Houston is where the Super Bowl will be played. In the movie Oblivion, it's hinted that something bad happens at this Super Bowl, the one in 2017. Oblivion in gematria equals 44, the kill number. This year's upcoming Super Bowl is on February 5th, 2017, a date with 44 numerology. Also, Houston has gematria of 112. Oftentimes, the city that corresponds with the World Series, this year will be the 112th World Series, oftentimes that team ends up in the World Series. So don't be surprised if Houston's in the 112th World Series upcoming as well. That means the city could be connected to 3 major sports championships: college basketball, Super Bowl, and possibly the World Series as well. And for years, we've been getting all this predictive programming about a major terror attack at a sports event. When I start seeing stuff like this, it makes me wonder. Plus, you think of the name Rockets having to do with things that can be used for violence. Houston Rockets. Show you this. Houston equals 112. The emergency dialing code in many nations. Here in the United States, if you punch 112, it will connect you to 911. Rockets also has gematria of 91, like Pakistan the big way. They both equal 91. Houston Rockets put together has gematria of 59, number we just talked about, the kill number. Lahore equals 59. This attack took place on Easter Sunday, which has gematria of 44. The college championship in Houston is on April 4th, 2016, a date with 44 numerology in addition to it being 4-4. They shortly upped the count to 63, a number that showed up big in the Paris false flag as well as the Belgium false flag. At this point, they blamed it on a Pakistani Taliban splinter group who was targeting Christians. Pakistani Taliban has the same gematria as Lahore, Pakistan. And I also want you to notice this 78 coding. 78 shows up in Pakistani Taliban as well as Lahore, Pakistan. With regards to the Houston College Basketball Championship on April 4th, it will be the 78th championship ever. Should anything happen that day, just remember this story from days earlier. This is the kind of predictive programming the powers that be love to leave. They love to drop these hints. Clothes, locations, details. Taliban also has the gematria of 59. They said the splinter group is named Jamaat ul-Ahrar, gematria of 43, like massacre, number we just talked about. Brother Berg, a channel I often rep, the blog Extra Capsa, he talks about the number 124 and what it has to do with psychological programming. He has some interesting blog posts on this. I find it interesting that it's here in this group. In English gematria, they sum to 744, kind of like 74. Also a 44 in that. We talked about it being on the 74th meridian east on Easter Sunday with the 44 gematria. When they were reporting that it was 63 dead, a number they up later, I just noticed that from January 24th to March 27th was a span of 63 days. Pakistan, one of these places that gets a lot of terror attacks reported in the media. Here's the list so far in Pakistan. Terror attacks January 9th, 13th, 20th, February 6th, March 7th, March 16th, and then yesterday, March 27th. CNN for a lot of the day kept their ticker at deadly blast, targeted Christians for 47 minutes. The word Christian equals 47, again on the Christian holiday of Easter. For a long while last night, the reported dead was 67. It went from 63 to 67, eventually to 69, where we talked about in the beginning. While it was at 67, I said, okay, here's another fitting number. Blood sacrifice equals 67. Satanic equals 67. Again, sacrifice has gematria of 46, corresponding with the date, corresponding with Pakistan, corresponding with the park. Christians, the plural, also has gematria of 66, connected to yesterday's date numerology. The Bible of 66 books. The first Bible ever published, the Gutenberg Bible, gematria of 66. 66 names, 66 books in length. Christians equals 66, a word used one time in the Bible. Also, what stood out was this. If you look at the mainstream reporting, you're going to find this same image. They showed this ambulance van, 1122. What's 11 plus 22? 33. The master numbers are 11, 22, 33. Think about JFK on 1122, killed in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason. Anyhow, also on the license plate is 1793. What stands out about that is that it's 223 years ago. 223, the number for Masonic, for Synagogue of Satan. This was also the year of a major yellow fever outbreak. I don't think any of it's arbitrary. There might be more to 1793 than I know. 93, the number of propaganda. Brother Berg points out that evil act of terror has gematria of 1122. He makes some great connections. What else Brother Berg noticed was about this baseball cap. He caught that Houston Rockets cap has gematria of 223, a trademark of the Masons and Zionists who hoax us by the numbers. Maestro. If you follow my blog, Maestro Brother Berg, they post a lot here, as well as many other intelligent people. They decode a lot of interesting stuff themselves. He points out how Mason in Jewish gematria equals 211. 211's the 47th prime number. 47, very big number for the Masons and Zionists. It's the reflection of 112. Lots of things to learn, connect. What I present, it's only a part of all that's coded. All I report on is what I decode myself. There's always more to be decoded. Part of my goal in sharing this information is to get more minds working at this. The more people working at it, the better we'll understand it, the better we'll put it together, the more effectively we'll expose it. So I give you what I can. I do my best work. Other people with great minds, they help fill in the pieces I miss. And you can be one of those people if you apply yourselves, you know. The only way I got to be where I am presenting this information is by actively going after it, actively decoding, actively thinking about it. I'm doing this because I know I live in a moment in history where this madness must be stopped for the sake of humanity, for the sake of all people. And I wish more people would take on that mentality. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.